Welcome, friends, to the Play Guitar Podcast. I am Lee, and I'm here to help you become the guitar player that you've always wanted to be. We're going to do a little reset today. It's good to do that. It's good to every once in a while start fresh. But warning, this is the audio podcast. It's not the guitar lesson. I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, solving some problems today. Why am I going to do that? Well, you're going to see in a few minutes, but head on over to my playlist. Has all the Blues Master Series lessons in there. It's my Guitar Licks playlist. If you're looking for a traditional lesson, we have tons and tons of them in there. But today, I'm asking you to really listen to this. If you're frustrated, if you're struggling, if you think you should be better than you are right now, take a listen. I know these kind of episodes, they're not flashy. They're not what you'd think they'd be. But I've lived this problem. And I have an opinion on things. And the solutions are not just more scales and chords and banging your head against the wall if you're struggling from this. So I want to ask you, how are you doing? How's everything going? How's your guitar playing going? Are you getting better? Do you want to get better? You obviously do. You wouldn't be listening to this if you didn't want to get better. You're here. But what's wrong? What's wrong with what's going on? What's holding you back? Is it the song you're learning? Is it just too hard? Do you not know what to do next? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel scattered? You feel like this just isn't working for you. It's not going fast. I'm not seeing the results, right? You try, and at some point, maybe it starts to feel pointless. I don't even know what I'm going to do. If I could play the guitar, I don't even know what I want to do. I don't feel comfortable getting up in front of people and playing and having them have their opinions about me. Right? Well, as a guitar teacher, I see the value in all of this. I know what can happen for you. Once you get some good basic skills together, it's not many basic skills, but some good ones, you can get out in front of people and experience the other side of it. Playing for people when you have a communication back and forth. There's nothing better than that, right? But these values that I see in exercises, like hand-eye coordination. I see the value in that. I see the value in visualizing the fretboard, being able to see your scales and your arpeggios and your chord notes all in the same place without having to jump up and down the neck to play chords, right? I see the value in all of those things. It's important. I see the value in learning songs. I think that's important too. We can learn a lot from songs, as long as you're learning songs the right way. If you're just learning them going from 4 to 7, 9 to 10, you're missing a lot of stuff. But the other side of this is there's a lot of people who practice a lot, do a lot of exercises, learn lots of songs, and these people still struggle to move forward. Is this you? Does it sound familiar? At one point when I was teaching, it was probably right after I started teaching my group classes, when all the YouTube stuff had started happening, I found out it wasn't just busy work that made good, healthy guitar players. If it was, I wouldn't be having to solve the problem, right? I knew players who have been playing and working and actually playing in front of people for 40 years, more than 40 years, who are not getting better. In fact, we're going the opposite direction. So what I did was I started problem solving. It's turned into a journey of problems. It's turned into why all this is happening, right? I didn't think about teaching online at the time. I was trying to solve this problem of learning guitar. What's holding people back? I learned that the approach is much more important than the daily work. Not that the daily work's not important, but approach is everything, because if your approach is aimed incorrectly, if you're coming at it from a wrong angle, you're going to get lost very easily, right? It's the way that you come at this. It's a very difficult thing that you're trying to do. I know people make it look easy. And there are people who've been doing this for a long time, and it is easy for them. But you don't see the years that it took them to be able to do that. This is a difficult endeavor, right? So multiple skills are needed. And we need to combine these multiple skills, all using them at the same time, to perform a very tough task that's driven by the other side of your brain. Your guitar playing's driven by your emotions, right? How you feeling that day? How's it sound? Does it feel good? Everything's feel, right? It's driven by what you know. So if you're missing a lot of things in your knowledge, if your skills are missing, that's what's driving your engine forward, right? It's also driven with your creativity. Some people are very creative. They start to play just a scale pattern, and by the end of it, they're coming up with all sorts of things. Other people don't have that. They don't know how to use that. So they just play, tell me what to play and I'll play it. Are you like that? What kind of guitar student would you say you are? Right? So you could be the beginner, and I'm doing a lot of beginner things right now. So, and I'm telling you, if you're not a beginner, pay attention to the beginner stuff, because there's some gold in this stuff you maybe haven't thought about, in a very long time. So are you a beginner and you just don't know what to expect? You just thought playing guitar would be good. It feels like something you want to do, but you don't know what's going to happen or where you're going and all this stuff. Are you the type of player who has no goals at all? You're just content. You're just happy to be playing anything, right? Are you the type of player that has a reason for this? I have something that I need to do. Maybe it could be church. I have to play in church this weekend. It could, your band, you've got a band. You've got a friend that you get together and play. I need to be able to, maybe it's an open mic night, right? I need to be able to bring my skills up to a certain level so I can participate, right? You have a reason, a need for achievement. Are you a career beginner? Somebody's been playing since you can remember, and it's just not, it never happened for you, right? It could be the approach. Are you the type of player that could only play one song and then you'd be happy? So if I could play Stairway to Heaven, if I could just play that from beginning to end, I would have done it. That's exactly what I wanted to do, right? Or it could be a lick. If I could just play that one lick, then I'm going to be happy. Are you the player that likes to stay busy? I just want to do something to keep my mind active, right? I like to know exactly what I'm going to practice each week because it makes me feel like I'm on track. Are you the practicer that likes to figure things out? Is the guitar like a puzzle to you, right? And the more you learn, the more puzzle pieces get thrown at you, right? Are you the type of player who loves to get started with stuff, who gets excited about the beginning of the journey, but then falls flat very quickly with no follow through, right? You get maybe you have too many directions to go at once and you're overwhelmed. If any of those sound familiar to you, and I have a feeling that maybe 2 or 3 of them might apply to you, I don't know. But what's the answer to it? The answer to all of these is the approach. Shifting your focus from those things to basic skill work. Realizing that I may not have all the basics I need to really do this thing. I hear these people doing this stuff and I can't do it. And I just think, well, it's just me. I'm not cut out for this. No, I've seen people you would think would never be able to do this. And they became really, really good guitar players. Why? Because we went back. We're going the opposite way. We're looking at what you done and what you missed. Okay. You need to line up the skills that are missing and knock them down. Those should be your goals, because the people that are out there playing, the people out there having fun, the people that are doing this stuff on autopilot so they can smile and create and do those things, they have a good foundation of skills. And what we've done is we've just blown past that. There we go. One sense, we've just blown past the foundational skills for one reason or another. And I just listed, what was that, like 10, 12? I don't know, a bunch. So we're going to start talking about goals, right? Realistic goals. Does that sound boring? Shouldn't, because this is the bridge to get over all the junk and over to the good stuff, right? And it's the fastest way to get better. Much faster than just chasing all these shiny things and getting lost all the time. Lining up the realistic goals, lining up the basic skills that you've either neglected or they need to be refined. Have you ever experienced the zone in something when you were working at something and, this led to this, led to this, led to this. And then you got some success and then you kept moving forward. This led to this, led to this, led to this. The zone in guitar practice is what I'm looking for you to get into. What do I mean by the zone of the guitar practice? We're going to get off the roller coaster. We're going to stay away from burnout. We're going to stay away from overstimulation. And we're going to do the slow and strong approach. I want you to stop thinking of, I need to be this good by this time or I'm quitting. Approach to it and realize this is something that you're going to do for the rest of your life. And you're just going to get better and better. And it's going to mean more to you. It's going to be there for you when you need it. And as it grows, it's going to take you to places you've never been. And it's going to give you experiences that you have never had before. It's going to be valuable to you, a part of your life. That's the slow and strong approach. This is a long-term endeavor. That being said, you might have some big goals, right? There's nothing wrong with big goals. Big goals are great. That's where we're going to put our aim, right? These big goals are valuable, but they need to be put in their place at the end. We got to get through these things to get to the big goals. So why do people avoid that? Why do people want to just jump to the front? Because you're human. We're all a big mess, right? I'm the same way. I see man, I'd love to be able to do that. But what happens is, say I hear somebody play something and I get excited about it. I go home and I start to practice and I realize, well, that's going to take a long time. That's the difference. I go, okay, I have to make a decision. If that's something that I need to do right now, I'm going to start figuring out what are the steps I need to be able to make that happen. Or I have to weigh it with what are the other things I'm doing? Are these more important than this? I'm going to put it in time, place it in when I should start to do that. And then sometimes something that's new and exciting after a couple of days doesn't feel quite so new and exciting anymore. You go, oh, that was, hey, I was thinking about that, but maybe this would work better, right? We're impatient. We want everything we want right now. From what I've seen, the step-by-step approach, the slow approach of building skills, knocking down skills. As I knock down these skills, I'm getting faster and faster. It's a faster way to get better. The wrong approach feels fast. Oh, I'm going straight to it. I'm going to play just like, I always say Eddie Van Halen, but it could be anybody. I could play just like Peter Frampton, or I could play just like Howard Alden. I could play just like all these great guitar players. And you go and you try to learn their stuff and you realize that you're not quite there yet. Have you ever felt that? Right? It feels fast, but what it is, it's quickly taking you to a rut. How are we going to get past that? We're going to set the path first. Set the path ahead. How are we going to do that? We're going to write it down. Sounds silly. I don't need to write it down. I'm going to put on a piece of paper. I would suggest, right? Write it down. Write down, okay, here's where I want to do, and do your best to figure out what are the steps that I would need to do them. Be honest with yourself. Are my chords good enough to do that? Do I know those notes that are being played? Do I have to learn some more things, some more skills to be able to do that? Is my fretboard knowledge good enough yet to be able to convincingly play those things? You'd be surprised. It doesn't take as long as you think. You might think, oh gosh, those things are going to take forever. See it every day. Doesn't take forever. The writing it down makes it real. It's not when it's just swimming around in your head. It's not real. It's something you might do, all right, or you should do, right? You write it down. Now you got to make a decision. Well, there it is. What am I going to do? Am I just going to ignore it? That's a decision. I'm deciding to ignore it, right? So it's not undecided. It's not just jumbled around. It's okay. I wrote it down. My coaching students, they have a path that's already written down. I wrote it down for them because I took some of the things that I wanted them to be able to do and figured out step by step where they're going to go. And then I had the luxury of doing it a lot. And so kind of testing it with different students and finding out what are some of the best practices to get to these goals quickly. And it made me be able to see very quickly when someone has a deficiency or something that they need to do. What do you do after that? Okay, it's written down. What's the next step? Get into a rhythm. Rhythm's important. Do you pay attention to rhythm in music? Well, how about rhythm in learning? You need to be flexible, but consistent, right? So I'm going to spend, you can guess, 2 weeks on this thing here. And for 2 weeks, I'm going to focus on that. And then I'm going to move on to the next one. And you may say, okay, well, I thought it was 2 weeks, but all of a sudden my job, someone quit and I had to pick up for them, right? Well, forget it. I'm just done. It's not going to happen because at some point it's going to go away. You're going to go back to real life, and it's going to, your brain's going to be thinking again, right? So make adjustments. Okay. So if you can't do what your initial goal was, well, let's at least move forward. How can I move forward to that goal till I get to a part of my life where I can pay attention, when I can afford some of this time to take. So get into this rhythm, find some sort of rhythm that's appropriate for the time that you're at. And then when time does open up, then you can really go for it. Right. So then the third part of this, maybe the most important part, is learn to expect goals to be met. Don't get used to not achieving your goals, right? So if you said, this is a reasonable goal and this is something that I should do, and there's some reason that I'm struggling with this, we're going to find out what that is. If it's a basic skill, you are able to do it. You can. Even if you think you can't, you can. There's something that we're missing. It could be the way you're approaching it. It could be something technical. It could be a bunch of different things. But expect that goal to be met. Make your goals realistic, valuable, but also inspirational, right? Always remember where you were before. I couldn't do any of this stuff before. It's really easy to forget. I'm playing guitar now. Oh, I've got these chords, but I'm not as good as that guy. Well, where were you a month ago? Couldn't even play guitar, or you couldn't even play these things. Now you can, right? Stay away from the, I wish I could do that thinking. Oh, I wish I could do that. Oh, I wish I could do that. And start asking yourself, what does it take to do that? And then write it down, break it down. That's what I'm doing for my students. Writing it down, breaking it down for you. That's what I feel like I bring to the table the most. In this season, I'm focusing a lot on beginners. So I thought, and always pay attention. You hear something for beginners, pay attention to it. I help beginners all the time, and it's made my guitar playing strong, very strong, right? So we're thinking about beginners. Let's talk about a beginner in this situation. Why would a beginner set an unrealistic goal? They might go, I'm going to play guitar and I'll be playing these songs pretty quick. Expect to play songs immediately. I think that's the biggest thing where people quit, is they realize, oh, there's a lot more to this than that. I can't play something that sounds anything like that. Not even just play the whole song. It's kind of like you get deflated very quickly, right? Some people aren't like that. Some people are just like, hey, listen, I can play this one string riff, this one string lick, right? Play these songs that have these little riffs. Oh, I can do that. If I can do that, I can do this. I can do this. So don't let that get you down. It happens to everybody. You're not any different. You're going to learn, oh, songs are a lot harder to play than you think when you're a beginner. Next, what's the next reason? Learning bits and pieces from random tutorials, right? So you get this here. You type in how to play guitar. It's obviously, right? And then what happens? It's happened to all of us, right? I didn't do how to play guitar, but I did other things, right? And you go down these rabbit holes, right? Okay, I started with how to play guitar, and then within 30 minutes, I'm in how to play Bohemian Rhapsody or something like that. And then I'm learning, well, I don't know scales. I have to play. Then I got somebody else teaching me scales. I got somebody else. Oh, I got some chords, and I got 3 or 4 different people all showing me different chords, right? And everything starts to get jumbled. It doesn't make sense. It's random, right? You don't have a process of moving forward. That's why I told you to write these things down. What's the smartest thing to work on first? What's the smartest thing to work on second? If you keep thinking that way, you're going to get very, very fast. How about comparing your progress to more experienced players? It's huge, right? Everybody's going to laugh at me if I mess up on guitar. No, they're all doing it too. It doesn't matter even if they're pro players. They're messing up. Intermediate players mess up all the time. Hello, intermediate players. Everybody's listening to me. Do you mess up? Yeah. Let the beginners know that. We're still messing up. Been playing for forever. Still messing up here and there. What's the difference? I know how to hide it pretty good. It makes it sound like I meant to do that, right? So don't be discouraged when you mess up. That's what so if you listen to this for a long time, I'd say there's the playing part of practice, and then there's the practice part of practice. Practice sounds bad. Playing is refining the things that you already know how to play, make them polished, make them sound good. Jamming is in that side. Something like these things, the things that you map out your realistic goals. These are the ones that go over into practice side, right? The goal is to move these skills from one to the next and eventually to real life, right? So let's talk about what realistic goals might look like for a beginner. Let's see. The biggest problem beginners have is playing chords cleanly, right? I have a download for that. Clear sounding chords. It's been a big deal. Practicing one clean chord for 3 days, right? Making your adjustments, seeing if you can come in and do it again. Oh, I could do it yesterday, but when I come in today, no. And that's getting your fingers towards the frets, right? Putting your thumb on the back of the neck or up around the side, depending on the chord. Making sure that you can play each note in a row without touching the other strings. It's hard things to do at first. You forget how hard they were, right? So maybe practicing that one clean chord for 3 days and then putting some rhythm to it. Maybe the next thing is playing 4 strums, but this time they're in time, right? You're not just playing them in free time on the couch. You've got maybe a metronome or playing along with the song, right? Keeping them in time. Rhythm is important. You've got melody, harmony, and rhythm. That's the musical triangle. If you got all 3 of those things, you've got a good, solid musical example, right? Melody is your singing or your guitar lead, anything that's the line, that's kind of the focus. Harmony are the chords, right? The chord progression. And rhythm is through all of that, when to place the notes, right? So laying down 4 strums in time with that chord, that could be the next one for a few days, right? And number 3 is to start goals early, even as a beginner. This is going to show you how getting these goals, you're going to actually enjoy the guitar a lot more. You're going to stay away from the frustrating. You may not have as high highs, but you definitely won't have as low lows, and you're going to move faster. You're going to enjoy what you're doing. So keeping a journal at first, writing these things down, knowing what you did. Recording is the best thing. If you can record your practices so you can go back, because sometimes you'll make a discovery. I remember my beginner years were filled with discoveries. I discovered that. Of course, everybody else was doing it, but I felt like I figured it out. I discovered it. And a lot of times from day to day, you will forget what you did the day before. So put your laptop there, put your tablet there, press record. You don't have to keep it forever. Press record at least to the next day. You can watch what you did a little bit. And then you're going to be able to see the progress faster. The problem with progress on the guitar is it doesn't feel like you're moving forward. You practice every day for a week. Every single day you practice. You're practicing the same things. Then you move on to something else and you practice that for a while. But you think, I'm not really getting better. It doesn't feel like I'm doing anything. Then someone in the house walks by and says, hey, that sounds pretty good. What happens? Boom. you feel, oh, I must be getting better. Hey, I feel pretty good. You stand up a little bit straighter. Then, yeah, this is making sense. I'm really doing something with this, right? Were you not getting better the whole time? Yeah. Were you not getting better the whole time? Yes, you were. You were getting better the whole time. Did it feel like it? No, it did not. It didn't feel like it at all. So you can't trust your feelings when it comes to progress with the guitar. You can't trust them at all. But if you record, you can sit back as an observer, as a viewer, and make a decision without the feelings there, right? You can say, oh, I am getting better at that. Or no, this thing needs a little bit more help. A step-by-step plan is important. And I have one that's on the way to you right now. It's my free beginner's guide. And I have to tell you what you're in store for if you're a beginner. And I set you on the path pretty quickly, right? These realistic goals as a beginner or for anyone else, they're going to make guitar much more fun for you. It's not going to be as super exciting, but it's definitely going to move fast. And these unreachable goals, they just make you quit. Right? So I have one-on-one coaching. If you need help with any of these things, you're not good at setting goals for yourself, I'd be happy to help you with that. I'll get my detective work going to help find your missing skills and establish some small goals for you to get to your destination as fast as possible. But if you're just starting, you don't want to go all down that route, grab my Absolute Beginner's Guide to Starting Guitar. It's a free mini video course and PDF cheat sheet. It gives you exact steps to take. So that's a wrap. Thanks for joining me today for the Play Guitar podcast. Make sure to hit the button below to subscribe to the show. And if you've benefited from the podcast, a review over on Apple Podcasts. That is the best way to help us reach more guitar players around the world. It's all I'm asking for you. And don't forget, Play Guitar Academy is here. If you want to get together with some really good people, we have a live one-on-one. You get to hang out with me every Wednesday at 5 o'clock with some really good folks. And we're all learning the guitar together. It's very, very fun. And there's a million other things in there too that can help you with guitar playing. So that's over at Play Guitar Academy. Thanks a lot. And I will see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.